Okay, let us discuss the remaining question. The question number 10 is, an artificial satellite is moving in a circular orbit of radius 42,250 kilometers. Calculate its speed if it takes 24 hours to revolve around the earth. So the question is simple. It says that there is a satellite which is revolving around, revolving around the earth in a radius of 42,250 kilometers. Okay, it's the radius of the orbit in which the satellite is revolving. What is the speed of the satellite if it travels, if it completes one revolution, in 24 hours? So see, let's try to imagine what situation is given. It says that, let us say this is the earth and there is a satellite, which is revolving around the earth like this. The radius of its orbit, this is, let us say, r. So radius of orbit is equals to, it is 42,250 kilometers, radius of orbit r, and the satellite takes 24 hours to complete one revolution. So time of one revolution is 24 hours. The time of one revolution is equals to 24 hours. This is given to us. Now we have to find what is the speed of this satellite. What is the speed? If I ask you why it is written as speed, why it is not velocity? Because we are considering the motion in which the satellite will going to have changing velocities. At every point of time, its velocity will going to change. So here, to calculate the speed, I can see the distance travelled by the satellite in 24 hours is how much? This is the radius of orbit. In 24 hours, the satellite is covering one complete revolution. So it means distance travelled, let me write here, distance travelled in one revolution is equals to 2 pi r. This is a circular orbit, 2 pi r. So the velocity will become 2 pi r upon time period is 24 hours, so 24. So now I can write it as 2 into 22 upon 7 into 42,250 and upon 24. So it means we have to solve out this. This will not get completely cancelled. This is 2 and this is 12, then this is 6 and this is 11. So 11 into this upon 42. I can cancel this as well. So what we can see, this would be in kilometers per hour, this velocity or the speed, the speed. Now we can see that the speed is in kilometers per hour. So speed, if I write, it is 11 into 4, 2250 upon 6 into 7 is 42. So this is kilometers per hour. Now, since it is in kilometers per hour, and you can see this would be a very big number. See, 42,250 into 11. It means 4 lakh, around 4 lakh. This value will go, and this is 42. It's a small value. So what we can do? We can calculate the speed of the satellite in kilometers per second, because that would be a better unit for us. So what we will do? We will convert this hours into kilometers. So it means you can see this is 11 into 42 250 upon, this is 42. Now this is kilometers per hour. So hours means I can convert this into minutes by multiplying by 60, and then one more time by 60 to convert it into seconds. Okay. So now this speed will become in kilometers per second. That how much kilometers this satellite is basically traveling in every 1 second. So now when we solve this, this will come out to be 3.07 kilometers per second. Okay, this will come out to be 3.07 kilometers per second. So this is the speed with which the satellite is traveling. So imagine how fast the satellite is basically traveling. 3.07 kilometers, not even meters, it's kilometers every second. And by traveling with this speed, the satellite is able to revolve or complete one revolution in 24 hours. So imagine how big its radius is, how big its circumference is. Okay. So this is how you can solve the question number 10. Now moving to the next one. Question number 11 says, the speed time graph for a car is shown. And there is a speed time graph. So let me draw the speed time graph. This is the speed and this is the time. This is 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10, and here we have 2, and we have 4, we have 6 and 8, and the graph is something like this. Like this. Okay. So this is the graph given to us in the question number 11. See, it says that this is a speed time graph. Okay, this is the speed here, and this is the time. Now the question is, how far does the car travel in the first 4 seconds? Okay, try to understand the question. It says, how far does the car travels in the first 4 seconds? Shade the area on the graph that represents the distance traveled by the car during this period. So it says that in 4 seconds how far the car has traveled. You need to shade the area, okay, by which the car has traveled. Now to answer this question, we have to apply the concepts of the graph that we have learned. We have seen that the distance traveled by any object is equals to the product of its speed and time, and we have also understood in the previous classes that the distance can be calculated using the graph. How it is calculated? We have seen that distance is basically the area, okay, area under curve or area under the speed time graph. Okay, so this distance is equals to area under speed time graph. It is basically the area under speed time graph. So you can see we need to calculate the area till the time 4 seconds, this much. So this would be the distance traveled. This is how we can shade it. This would be the distance traveled by the car in the first 4 seconds. Okay, this is the area, or we can say this is the distance traveled in first 4 seconds. This is the distance traveled. Okay. The second part says which part of the graph represents, okay, which part of the graph represents uniform motion of the car. Now we have to find that which part of the car is representing the uniform motion. After what point of time or after how much distance the car is traveling at a uniform motion. Now what is a uniform motion? Uniform motion means either the velocity, okay, either the velocity should be constant, that the car is moving at a constant velocity, or the velocity with which the car is traveling is continuously increasing or continuously decreasing. That is, the acceleration is constant, okay, or the deceleration we can say is a constant thing. So that's why we can see that here after 6 seconds, after this point of time, the velocity becomes straight line. Okay, this becomes a straight line. So we can say this is the first part. So in the second part we can say after 6 seconds the motion becomes uniform. Okay, after 6 seconds we can see the motion will become uniform. So this is how you can solve this question. It's easy. Simply you have to apply the concepts that we have learned. Okay, this is the question number 11. Okay, so you note this and then we will continue. Okay, so let's see the 12th question. It says a ball is gently dropped from a height of 20 meters. If its velocity is increasing uniformly at the rate of 10 meters per second square, then with what velocity will it strike the ground and after what time will it strike the ground? So the question is easy. It says that I am dropping a ball from a height of 20 meters and as soon as I drop the ball, its velocity is getting increased by the rate of 10 meters per second square. Now you may wonder that why this velocity is getting increased. It is because of the gravitation. Okay, in the chapter gravitation we will learn this concept that whenever a body is under the influence of gravitational force, we call it as, or whenever a body falls under the influence of gravitational force, we call it as a free fall, as well as there would be the acceleration which is called as acceleration due to gravity, which is equals to 9.8 meters per second square. We will learn that concept at that point of time, but for time being we will simply understand that I am standing at a height of h which is 20 meters and I am dropping a ball from this point. So whenever I am dropping a ball, I will say that at this point of time the speed of the ball is 0 meters per second. Okay, because from this point I am dropping the ball. Now as soon as the ball is moving down, it has an acceleration of 10 meters per second square. Now I am saying that this acceleration will be positive. Now why it is positive? It's simply because the velocity and the acceleration both are in the same direction, both are in the downward direction. So here I can see I can apply the equation of motion because the acceleration is constant. It says that acceleration is 10 meters per second square, it is not getting changed. So now my task is to find that with which velocity this ball will strike the ground. So let us say this velocity is v. Now do you know any equation which relates initial velocity, final velocity, acceleration and the distance travelled? This is s, we call it as s. Yes, we know the equation and that equation is the third equation of motion, v square minus u square is equals to 2as. Now v square we have to calculate, u square is given as 0 square, 2 into 10 into this is 20. Okay, so this gives you v square is equals to 2 into 10 is 20 and into 20, so v will comes out to be 20 meters per second square. This is the final velocity with which the ball will strike the ground, okay, at this point of time. Because when the ball reaches the ground, it has travelled a distance of 20 meters. So we can apply the third equation of motion. Now it has one more question, that after what time will it strike the ground? After what time? So I need to calculate the time. Now do you know any equation which relates initial velocity, acceleration, final velocity and time? Okay, I can consider this distance as well, but the easy one would be if I consider the final velocity instead of this distance travelled. Okay, so I have two equations of motion here. S is equals to ut plus half at square and another is v is equals to u plus at. But I feel that this would be easier to apply. Okay, this would be easier to apply because we know v, we know u, we know acceleration a. So let's apply this. This is 20 is equals to 0 plus 10 into t. This is 20 is equals to 10 into t. So this gives you t is equals to 2 seconds. So this would be the time at which the ball reaches the ground, and as soon as it reaches the ground, it will attain a velocity of 20 meters per second. Sorry, not the square, just 20 meters per second. Okay. Okay, so this completes the question 12. You can note this.